Allah is my heart's speech. Your mercy is what I beseech. Keep in my heart your remembrance, and in your deen allow me to advance. Help me in my quest. Permit me to pass the ultimate test. Help me in my quest. Permit me to pass the ultimate test.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والعاقبة للمتقين، ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأولين والآخرين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Brothers and sisters, welcome once again to another live edition of your program Ask Huda on another beautiful day during the blessed month of Ramadan. Today, by the grace of Allah, is our 25th. May Allah the Almighty accept from all of us. A quick reminder with our phone numbers: area code 002, then 023855 131 or 132. A few pending questions from yesterday's episode. We have our very beautiful young viewer Hadi from the KSA. He asked about what does Islam say about time travel. I checked in the Quran and in the Sunnah, and I have found a few incidents that are relevant to this subject and this matter. And by the end, I came to the conclusion that Allah the Almighty said in the Quran, indeed He is able to do all things. ذَلِكَ لِتَعْلَمُوا أَنَّ اللَّهَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. In order to know that Allah is able to do all things. And in another ayah, إِنَّمَا أَمْرُهُ إِذَا أَرَادَ شَيْئًا أَن يَقُولَ لَهُ كُن فَيَكُونَ. Whenever Allah the Almighty wishes to do anything, whenever He wants to execute any command, He simply says to it, be, and it is. It is accomplished. It is finished. That's why the few incidents in the Quran, and as you know that those who are into the scientific fiction and these kind of myth, they categorize the time travel into the forward time travel and the backward time travel. So the incidents which the Quran or the Sunnah refer to and relevant to the concept of time travel are concerning the forward time travel. For instance, in Surah Al-Baqarah, second chapter of the Quran, verse number 259, Allah the Almighty says, أَوْ كَالَّذِي مَرَّ عَلَى قَرْيَةٍ وَهِيَ خَاوِيَةٌ عَلَى عُرُوشِهَا قال أَنَّا يُحْيِي هذه الله بعد موتها فأماته الله 100 عام ثم بعثه قال كم لبثت. Underline this word. قال لبثت يوما أو بعض يوم. This is what I found relevant to the time travel, forward time travel. It is the story, Allah the Almighty is telling us the story, one of many stories in the Quran that indicate the infinite power of Allah the Almighty in reviving the dead, bringing back to life those who died. So it talks about a righteous man from Bani Israel by the name Uzair. After the tyrant king Bukhtanasar destroyed Jerusalem, and he have killed of Bani Israel 70,000 in one day, and so on. So Uzair came across Baytul Maqdis, and he looked at it and it was all ruined. So he asked this question, أَنَّ يُحْيِي هَذِهِ اللَّهُ بَعْدَ مَوْتِهَا. How is it possible that this city, this town will come back to life after it has been ruined? He used the term مَوْتِهَا, it's dead. There is no life in it whatsoever. So Allah the Almighty showed him practically. فَأَمَاتَهُ اللَّهُ 100 عَامٍ. So Allah caused him to literally die for 100 years. ثُمَّ بَعَثَهُ. Then He revived him. Then through the angel He asked him, كَمْ لَبِثْتَ. How long you been asleep? Because when Uzair woke up, he assumed that he was in a sleep. قال لبثت يوما أو بعض يوم. Perhaps I slept for a day or a part of the day, because when he said that statement, it was during midday or in the morning, and when he woke up, it was still before sunset. So he assumed that maximum a few hours. يوما أو بعض يوم. So the angel said to him, بَلْ لَبِثْتَ مِئَةَ عَامٍ, you've been in your sleep for 100 years. Ibn Kathir, the great interpreter of the Quran, the great Hafiz, may Allah have mercy on him, said that when Allah the Almighty revived Uzair, He revived the first thing in him, his eyes, so he was able to witness reviving his entire body. Then Allah the Almighty said to him, انظر إلى حمارك. He had with him his own donkey, and he had some juice, he had some fruits. Everything was still fresh. Nothing was altered, nothing was changed whatsoever. انظر إلى طعامك وشرابك لم يتسنى. Look at your food, look at your drink. It was untouched. It's still fresh. It looks like it has been only a couple hours. وانظر إلى حمارك ولنجعلك آية للناس. And look at your donkey. Look at him in what sense? انظر إلى العظام كيف ننشزها ثم نكسوها لحمة. The donkey has died as well for 100 years. And the remains of the bones are very fragile. So Allah the Almighty revived the bones, and He showed him how the bones were covered with the flesh, with the veins, with the arteries, and then He brought him back to life. فَلَمَّا تَبَيَّنَ لَهُ قَالَ أَعْلَمُ أَنَّ اللَّهَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. So when he saw that, he said, I know indeed Allah is able to do all things. In Surah Al-Ma'arij, Al-Ma'arij means the ways of ascent. من الله ذي المعارج تعرج الملائكة والروح إليه في يوم كان مقداره 50,000 سنة فاصبر صبرا جميلا. Allah is talking about the length of the day of judgment, which is equivalent to the measure of 50,000 years of our time. 50,000 years of our time. But it will be a single day. The day will be a single day. And the angels will keep ascending for that much. The Prophet ﷺ said in the hadith, which is collected by Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, which is narrated by Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, may Allah be pleased with him, that Allah the Almighty made the length of this day, the day of resurrection, equivalent to the measure of 50,000 years of our time. Yet for the believers it will be very light, it will be similar to the length of as-salatul maktuba. How long does it take to go to the masjid to pray any fard namaz? 15, 20 minutes, half hour, an hour, with the sunan before and after and khitamus salah. So while the length of that day, the same day and the same time, the same place, will measure 50,000 years. For some, for the wicked and the non-believers, for the believers it will be only like an hour or so, like offering as-salah al-maktub. The beautiful surah which is recommended to be recited every Friday, Surah Al-Kahf. Allah the Almighty tells us about another magnificent miracle. وَلَبِثُوا فِي كَهْفِهِمْ 300 سِنِينَ وَازْدَادُوا تِسْعًا. About the group of the youth who escaped the persecution of the tyrant non-believing king, who forced them to worship idols. So when they refused and they took shelter, فَأْوُوا إِلَى الْكَهْفِ يَنْشُرْ لَكُمْ رَبُّكُمْ مِنْ رَحْمَتِهِ وَيُهَيِّئْ لَكُمْ مِنْ أَمْرِكُمْ مِرْفَقًا. So they took shelter in a cave to escape the persecution of the king, to maintain their faith, to maintain their monotheism and their iman. So Allah the Almighty cast sleep upon them. So they slept for how long? وَلَبِثُوا فِي كَهْفِهِمْ 300 سِنِينَ. 300 years. What about the tis'a? Our young viewer who's asking about the time travel. 300 years plus 9, because if it is a Gregorian calendar, that is 300 years. But if it is the lunar calendar, 309 years. So when they woke up, Allah the Almighty made them wake up. Literally they were awake, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran that وَنُقَلِّبُهُمْ ذَاتَ الْيَمِينِ وَذَاتَ الشِّمَالِ وَكَلْبُهُمْ بَاسِطٌ ذِرَاعَيْهِ بِالْوَصِيدِ لَوِ اطَّلَعْتَ عَلَيْهِمْ لَوَلَّيْتَ مِنْهُمْ فِرَارًا وَلَمُلِئْتَ مِنْهُمْ رُعْبًا. So they were in this state of semi-sleep. And Allah kept turning them right and left, flipping them over so that they would not develop ulcers, and as you know, because of sleeping for 309 years. And then when they woke up, قالوا كم لبثتم? How long you been asleep? All of that they thought that they were asleep for some time. They said قالوا لبثنا يوما أو بعض يوم. Again they said perhaps we slept for a whole day or some part of the day. But in fact Allah the Almighty told us that He put them to sleep for 309 years. The journey of Al-Mi'raj. Al-Mi'raj is also ascending. In Surah Al-Isra, Allah the Almighty began the surah by saying, Subhana. He is free from any deficiency and any shortcoming. Who? الذي أسرى بعبده ليلا من المسجد الحرام إلى المسجد الأقصى الذي باركنا حوله لنريه من آياتنا إنه هو السميع البصير. What happened 1400 years ago could not even happen today with the very extremely advanced technology. That the Prophet ﷺ was taken in a night journey from Jerusalem, from Al-Bayt al-Haram in Mecca to Jerusalem, Al-Masjid al-Aqsa in Jerusalem, Bayt al-Maqdis, where he met with all the prophets and he led them in the prayer. Then Jibreel alayhi salam brought him this animal al-Buraq, and he ascended with him to the 7 heavens, one after another, until he reached the 7th heaven. All of that was in a part of the night. So when he returned to his bed was still warm. ذلك لتعلموا أن الله على كل شيء قدير وأن الله قد أحاط بكل شيء علما. These signs in order to know that Allah indeed is able to do all things, and He has encompassed everything with His infinite vast knowledge. Assalamu alaikum. Sister Nadia from the KSA, welcome to the program.
Hello, assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you, Sheikh?
Fine, alhamdulillah. Thank you for asking, Sister Nadia.
Sheikh, I have 3 questions.
Yeah.
My first question is regarding wearing perfume for women. I heard, of course, many times from you that if the women go out and any other non-mahram smell it, she will be fornicated. She is having sin like fornicated. I want the reference for this hadith because, Sheikh, whatever you tell and any scholar or Huda TV, I trust everything blindly. But some people, they send me the hadith. I want to confirm you from that hadith, that is it authentic or not. Please listen. It was narrated that Aisha radiallahu anha said, we used to go out with the Prophet, peace be upon him, to Makkah, and we would apply perfume to our foreheads when entering ihram. Then if one of us sweated, it would run down her face. And the Prophet ﷺ would see it, but he did not rebuke her. And reference they have given narrated by Abu Dawud and classed as Hassan by Al-Nawin Al-Majmu, Sahih Al-Albani and Sahih Ibn Dawud, Sunan Ibn Dawud. So I just want to confirm that this is authentic or not, because I trust whatever you said, so I just want to tell them the reference for that hadith which you told about the perfume.
Okay.
And my second question is, I heard few days back about the zakat. You told that it is on 24 karat gold. But alhamdulillah, I give the zakat every year, but on all my jewelry. But Sheikh, 24 karat gold, no one, whenever the jewelry made, it is not 24 karat gold.
Correct.
It is always 21 or 22 karat gold.
Correct.
So 24 karat is only pure gold. So then, but I give the zakat on all the jewelry, and most of the people give the zakat on all the jewelry. And I think it's better to give all the jewelry. Anyhow, I just clarify this, please. And my third question is, going to Jannah, I heard many times that the person who will say the Quran, and he will, the levels, he will go to the higher levels until he stops. What is exactly this hadith, and what does it mean? The one who memorized the Quran, or how they will recite? I mean, like we can recite the whole Quran, but we don't memorize. So is it for the one who already memorized the Quran? Jazakallah khair. Thank you.
Okay. Jazakallah khair. First of all, with regards to the 24 karat, I mentioned in the same answer that if you have, of course, I mentioned also that all the jewelry, either 18 or 21, but 24, this is a pure gold, so they have to add to it copper for the, in order to be solid, in order to be, for the hardness. But when I say that the nisab is on the 24 carat, so you look into the price list. Today, the 24 carat, let's say that they sell gold coins. 85 gram of gold worth that much, 15,000. So this is the nisab, the 15,000, for instance. So if you have already gold, 24 carat, 18 carat, and you have silver, the sum of all is perhaps 13,000. So it's not zakatable. Okay? And if it is equivalent to the nisab of the 24 carat or more, then it is zakatable. This is why I said the nisab is calculated according to the 24 carat, but normally what people wear is the 21 or the 18 carat, and accordingly you estimate how much is the gold that you possess as of today. You look into the price list. You look it up online, for instance. You see, how much do you have of gold? I have 60 grams of bracelets and necklace and all of that. But this is 21 carat. Fine. How much is it in the market today that is worth 40,000? Okay, set that aside. Then, the nisab of 85 gram of gold of the 24 carat. How much is it today? How much worth is it today? 15,000. So you already have the nisab and above. Forget about the 24 carat now. You're going to pay the zakah on the amount which you already possess. The hadith of which you mentioned, which is collected by An-Nasa'i, Ibn Khuzaymah, Ibn Hibban, and others in their sound collection, that the Prophet ﷺ said, أيما امرأة استعطرت فمرت على قوم فوجدوا ريحها فهي زانية. The hadith is also collected by Al-Hakim in his sound collection. This is the reference that you mentioned in the beginning, and we use this as a reference. If a woman feels secure that no one would find her fragrance of other than her maharim, she can wear it, no problem. But if she is going out and she knows that she will pass by men who are not her mahram, and they will find her fragrance, this is what the Prophet ﷺ have forbidden. Similarly, wearing makeup. It is like wearing revealing clothes at home. That's for your husband, halal. But when you go out in public, haram. Then you check in a hotel, you and your husband are alone, it becomes halal. So whenever you expose your beauty or the makeup that you're wearing or the perfume to people who are not lawful for you to find this fragrance or this makeup or this beauty, then this is where it becomes haram. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sister Hannah from Bahrain.
Hello.
Naam.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the program, Sister Hannah.
Thank you so much. Sheikh, before I ask my question, I cannot believe that my call have actually come across. I just want to thank you that you're helping literally so many people out, literally. And I think that somebody needs to acknowledge that, and somebody needs to inform that may Allah increase people like you.
May
Really,
Allah accept from all of us. May Allah accept from all of us.
Sheikh, I have a very silly question. I really apologize for it. The thing is that I'm hearing a lot of things, about hasud. People have a lot of hasad. They're doing magic, and jinns are taking over people, and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I really want to know about it, in the sense that I believe in Allah, I believe in the Quran, I believe in each and every word of it. Then why is that when I tell people that, if you read, for example, recite the Qul, it's enough for you. That's the reason it has come down, right? But people, I'm hearing this a lot, believe me, I'm hearing this a lot. And they will say, no, you read, but still it will happen.
Mm.
Then I go like, it cannot be weak. The words cannot be weak. It's like we are believing in one word, and then we are not believing another word of Allah. How can that be? That cannot be. The Quran throughout is strong. It's not for one line or two lines, isn't it?
Correct.
So I really I want you to emphasize on it, and through your channel to reveal it to as many people, mashallah, they're watching, to make it very clear that it's not a lie.
Okay.
Okay. And the other question I have is that I've seen people sending Fatiha to dead people in a way that I don't know whether it's relevant in the deen. So I would really ask you if you can help me in that. Is that when they take a piece of, for example, rice, water, they're about to eat, and they will just read Fatiha on it, as if it is going for the mayyat, as if it's going to the dead person. And they're saying, no, it's going because they have made their niyyah. No, I get very confused because I think that a person dies, his connection is cut from the world.
Yeah.
He must be so equipped. May Allah forbid, this is the month of Ramadan. May it be easy for all of us. He must be so worried for what is going on. How can he hear us? Then going to the grave, knocking on the grave as if they're talking to the person. It's getting a lot, Sheikh. It is getting so much. And when you're talking to people like this, sometimes because of our weak iman and our lack of knowledge, we do fall a prey. And we do get confused. So I want to know the correct discipline of when somebody has passed away, when we go to visit their grave, what exactly we are supposed to say, what are we supposed to do so that we do not anger Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in any way whatsoever. Please, Sheikh, if you can help me, I would really appreciate that.
Inshallah.
Thank you so much.
Inshallah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sister Hannah from Bahrain. I appreciate your nice advices and compliments, and inshallah I'll get to answer your questions. I just want to mention a very interesting thing that subhanallah, a few days ago I was visited by a producer, and we were talking about an idea of a new program. The idea is basically I want to film the etiquette of visiting the sick and the etiquette of bearing the pain of sickness. And what do we do when we visit a sick person, whether at home or at the hospital? And what does a sick person do during his or her sickness? All the way until, God forbid, death. And then the process of the washing the deceased, the coffin, and the funeral, and the reward of attending each, and the burial process, and who attends and who doesn't attend, and whose intercession will be accepted, and so on. And then the etiquette of visiting the grave. I wanted to film it in a form of a drama, so that we do not just quote informations like what I'm doing right now. Rather, we go with the camera to hospitals, to people in their homes, to the graveyard, and all of that. So again, I think your message is confirming that. Also, particularly with regards to the etiquette of visiting the graveyard, something very important. Islam is a religion of monotheism, yet many Muslims are contradicting that via their actions whenever they visit the graveyard. So hopefully, inshallah, we'll get to produce this program, and also we'll get to answer your questions in brief in this episode. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back, inshallah, in a few minutes. Please stay tuned.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لقد رضي الله عن المؤمنين إذ يبايعونك تحت الشجرة فعلم ما في قلوبهم فأنزل السكينة عليهم وأثابهم فتحا قريبا ومغانم كثيرة يأخذونها وكان الله عزيزا حكيما. Who was Qarun? What was the Prophet Muhammad's relationship with his wife like? How did the Prophet Muhammad deal with the accusations that were directed towards his wife? How did Musa travel with Al-Khidr, and what was their relationship like, and what did they learn together? What are the important, practical, relevant meanings behind the story? We're going to be going through Quranic stories together. I'm your brother Hussam Hilal, and the purpose of this program on Huda TV, inshallah, is to learn and understand the Quran in a better way that will aid in our memorization and implementation and our understanding. I look forward.
أفلا يتدبرون القرآن ولو كان من عند غير الله لوجدوا فيه اختلافا كثيرا.
We all know that a person's iman increases and decreases, and the best way to increase your iman is through the Quran.
To contemplate, to reflect, to ponder over the verses of the Quran.
أفلا يتدبرون القرآن
ولو كان من عند غير الله لوجدوا فيه اختلافا كثيرا.
In this program, we will listen to the Quran first, and that should soften our hearts. And then once we get to know the meanings and contemplate over these meanings, then we can change by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
ولا يأتونك بمثل إلا جئناك بالحق وأحسن تفسيرا. ولا يأتونك بمثل إلا جئناك بالحق وأحسن تفسيرا.
Join us this Ramadan for Quran Circle.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back. We have Sister Hawa live on air. Sister Hawa from Nigeria. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam.
Alaikum assalam. Sister Hawa, go ahead. Can you hear me?
I want to know if a 10-year-old, yes, 10-year-old boy is eligible to be a Muharram for traveling.
Okay. I guess they asked this question yesterday. It is one of the pending questions. I got it. Do you have any other questions?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Al-Mahram is a person whom a woman can never marry because he is a relative of a first degree, such as a brother, a son, an uncle, a grandchild, provided that he attains the age of puberty. So a child is a child, but a mahram is a person who can provide protection for a woman so that she can travel with him. He can provide her with protection. So if the child is under the age of puberty, then he is not a mahram. We have Sister Nadia's next question about, but before the question about يقال لقارئ القرآن, about the hadith which she inquired about, the hadith of Aisha radiyallahu anha that she narrated, and the hadith is collected by Abu Dawood in his Sunan. That is true, that whenever they were traveling with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in ihram, they used to put the tib on their forehead so that if they sweat, the sweat will be mixed with the musk. Remember what I mentioned earlier? This hadith is used, or some of the scholars have used this as a reference that a woman like a man with regards to the recommendation of wearing the tib before putting the ihram on, provided that she will not be around men who are not her mahram. Also, Aisha radiallahu anha narrated in the hadith that since the ihram of a woman is in her hands and the face, so they used to uncover their faces and not wear gloves, show their hands. But if any of them happened to pass by men, she would lower her isdal. So now the ihram is to keep the face uncovered. But since there is a man who is not mahram, or a group of men, so they would cover their faces with the isdal. Al-Imam Muslim collected a hadith in his sound collection narrated by Zainab al-Thaqafiyya that the Prophet ﷺ said to his wives that if you guys are planning to pray Isha tonight, then you should not be wearing any عطر, any طيب. فلا تتعطر. Why? Because of the possibility of going out in public and meeting with people, and men find the fragrance of women. Assalamu alaikum. Shira from Qatar. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, ya Sheikh.
Naam.
I have two questions.
Yeah?
I heard that if you enter the bathroom without reciting, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-khubuthi wal khaba'ith, the angels curse you until you get out of the bathroom. Is it true? And my second question is that it's not allowed to post pictures at your house, but is it okay if you just keep pictures like in your cupboard or something, just inside, but just pictures which are hard copy pictures? Is it fine?
Okay. With regards to the first question, and the angels will curse the person who would not say this supplication upon entering the bathroom. Never heard of that, and I doubt that this is a hadith. It is recommended to say this supplication for your own protection against the jinn and Satans upon going to answer the call of nature. Assalamu alaikum. Sister Fadia from Egypt.
Hello, Dr. Salah.
Yes, Sister Fadia, welcome to the program.
Yeah, thank you, Doctor. I'm having a problem with my menses. Now for 4 days I'm not fasting, but actually it's not dripping like the normal menses. Just the first night there is some brown stain. And the 2 following days, there is nothing at all the whole day, and I didn't fast. Also yesterday at night, the same brown stain. It has no bad smell like the period. And nothing is dripping like the period. But this is my period days.
Okay, then it is a period. Since this is happening, the brownish color, the dark color, the spotting, if it happens during the period time, then you should treat it as a period. Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you, sister. Go ahead.
Now there is no flow.
Okay, if
For
it's
4 days.
okay, I got your question, Sister Fadia. Thank you. If the bleeding have stopped completely and you see the clear discharge or the dryness, then you perform ghusl and you resume fasting and offering the prayer. But if the spotting happens during the normal period time, then it will be treated as the menses or the period. Assalamu alaikum. Sister Asia from the case A, I think I got your questions ready to be answered, Sister Asia.
Yes, Jazakallah khair. Just reminder, because someone is waiting for that answer.
Just right now, having you call, I would have answered them. They are right in order. The following 2 questions, Sister Asia from the case. So I'll be happy to answer them immediately.
Yeah, just one more question also.
Sure.
One more, someone has, they forward it to me and then tell me, ask Sheikh what to do. Inshallah, Allah give ajr, all of us, inshallah.
Ameen.
Just one question. Is there any special reward for the pregnant woman? Means if she says the salah, that will be more counted. If she will do something good, it will be more counted. Something like this, more extra things if she's pregnant.
For a pregnant woman, you mean?
Yes.
Because
yes,
of the stress
woman.
that she is in. Okay, I got your question.
Yeah, because I'm from her husband. Okay.
Okay.
Jazakallah.
Sister Asia from the KSA, her first question yesterday was, if a person is sick and cannot continue i'tikaf, does he have to pay a ransom, or does he have to continue i'tikaf? Can he just not continue i'tikaf? Yes. Al-i'tikaf is sunnah. It is voluntary. And as I mentioned earlier, there is no minimum for it. And if you intend to perform i'tikaf, then you enter your mu'takaf and you find out that you have to get out, just get out. And there is no penalty. You're able to come back and resume, fine, with a new intention. But you do not interrupt your i'tikaf unless if it is something necessary, such as some masajid do not provide the meals. So can I go out to eat? That's permissible. Some places of worship, masajid, do not have the bathroom and the shower facility. Can I go to the shower facility which is like a little distant from the masjid? Yes, you may, because you have to perform wudu. You have to take a shower whenever you have to perform ghusl. So you may live for that. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, once while in i'tikaf, Aisha, the mother of the believers, Safiya, may Allah be pleased with her, came to visit the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And it was kind of late, so he decided to escort her home. فَخَرَجَ لِيَقْلِبَهَا. He went home with her. Why? In order to escort his wife. It was dark, it was night, so that's something necessary to do. So these are the means which allow you to leave the mu'takaf. When the Prophet ﷺ performed i'tikaf and he found his wives one after another coming into the masjid, and he realized that they are competing with each other over him. So he left the mu'takaf. He did not pay any fidya, but he performed i'tikaf next month. It is voluntary though, it is not mandatory. If a person is sick and has no family member to take him home, is a person with him inside i'tikaf has to pay ransom if he went? No, that's a necessity. So doing anything which is darura, you have to do it. The sister is also asking, and I think the question was answered when I said how the Prophet ﷺ escorted his wife Safiya radiyallahu anha home. So people are in i'tikaf and one of them fell very sick, very ill. He either needs to go to the hospital, he needs to go home, so somebody have to escort him. Would that interrupt his i'tikaf? No, that would not interrupt your i'tikaf. Maybe the brothers can remind me with the sister asked a third question, which she asked. Now, a pregnant woman, now I remember, alhamdulillah. The Prophet ﷺ said in the hadith, ما يصيب المسلم من نصب ولا وصب ولا هم ولا حزن حتى الشوكة يشاكها إلا كفر الله بها من خطاياه إلا كتب الله له بها أجر. Anything that a believer experiences which is perceived as hardship, as difficulty, even simply mere worries, mental stress, psychological stress, not just the physical one. Allah the Almighty uses these conditions, this hardship, this difficulty, in order to remit some of his sins and reward him or her for that. And obviously pregnancy is perceived in the Quran as a hardship. حَمَلَتْهُ أُمُّهُ وَهْنًا عَلَى وَهْنٍ. This is what Allah the Almighty said. His mother bore him in weakness above weakness. So she will be rewarded for that, no doubt. And that's why when he said, وَوَصَّيْنَا الْإِنسَانَ بِوَالِدَيْهِ حُسْنًا, he mentioned his mother when he said, and we enjoined upon man to be kind to his parents. Then he mentioned specifically the mother, and he mentioned the weakness and the hardship that she encountered during pregnancy. But as far as if there is a specific hadith that the reward for the prayer would be double and the reward for this would be increased due to pregnancy, I'm not aware of anything like that. But we're certain from the Quranic verses that I quoted and from the ahadith and also the hadith of anything that afflicts a believer, he will be rewarded for it. حَمَلَتْهُ أُمُّهُ وَهْنًا عَلَى وَهْنٍ. That's weakness above weakness. She will be rewarded for that. In the dunya, Allah the Almighty ordered the children to be dutiful to the parents, more specifically the mother, because of this period of pregnancy, breastfeeding, and upbringing the child. Assalamu alaikum. Sister Imad from the KSA.
Can I like to ask related to zakat?
Yeah.
This is about myself. I'm a mother with 3 children who have a good job and good salary, almost 20. But however, I don't really save money for whole one.
You know, Sister Imad, I would love to take your question, but I'm not sure if you're realizing that your voice is breaking over. I cannot hear a full statement all at once. I know that you said you're a mother of 3 kids, and then your voice started interrupted.
I have a good income monthly. It's about 20,000. But the thing is, I don't have like a saving for saving money in the bank for 1 year. So, however, I have some properties, house and land and kind of stuff. Do I need to still pay zakat when I get my monthly salary?
Okay, got your question, Sister Imad. That's a good question. A person may be making a very decent income, but he's not saving anything out of that. Not just 20,000, 100,000. But you're not making any saving out of that. Then you do not owe any zakat. And how do you calculate that? What is the condition for any person to pay zakat? 2 conditions. Number 1, possessing the nisab, the amount of wealth which is equivalent to the value of 85 grams of gold, or the value of 595 grams of silver, whether in the form of cash, CDs, stock shares, or investment, or saving. You don't have any of that. You also say that you have a property. You don't pay the zakah on the property, which is for your future to build a house or for your children. You don't pay zakah on that. You have a big ranch, but it is not producing anything, or it's not producing the nisab. Then there is no zakah on that as well. Thank you, Sister Imad. We have Zahra from the KSA. Sister Zahra, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, Sheikh. How are you doing?
Fine, Alhamdulillah. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Sheikh. I wanted to ask Sheikh if I do not know much Arabic, and now I'm reading the Quran in English. Is there any reward I will get if I read it in English?
Yes, of course, Sister Zahra. For reading the meaning of the Quran, you will be rewarded. For me reading the tafsir, I will be rewarded. But this reward cannot be compared to the one who recites the Quran in the same way it was revealed. So if you read the meaning of the Quran in Urdu, in Persian, in French, in Russian, you will be rewarded. You're reading a message from God. To comprehend it, to understand it, you can crown that by making a little bit of effort to learn the Arabic alphabet, then gradually learn how to recite the Quran. And the great news, Sister Imad, is, I'm not sure this is Sister Imad, Sister Zahra, I'm sorry. The great news is, that happens when you're fasting. The great news is that the Prophet ﷺ promised people like you, people who are not of Arabic origin, they do not speak Arabic, Arabic is not their mother tongue, and they're only learning that in order to read the message of God, the Quran. The Prophet ﷺ said, and the one who struggles while reading the Quran and he is stuttering shall receive double reward. So if the reward is 10 good deeds for each letter, you receive 20. Double reward, as the Prophet ﷺ said, because of the effort that you're making in order to learn how to read the word of God. Assalamu alaikum. Brother Mustafa from Sudan, Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah, teacher. Muhammad Salah, thank you so much. May Allah bless you, and I love you for the sake of Allah.
Thank you, Brother Mustafa. May Allah love you as well.
Yes. Sheikh, I have a question. Yes, I have a question.
Mustafa, are you still there? Okay, thank you for your nice compliment anyway, and you can send your question via mail if you want, or send it to my page and I'll be happy inshallah to answer it in the same order it was received. Jazakallah khairan. I don't want to make any commitment where I'm not sure whether I will be able to do it or not, but I do my best to answer the questions in the order that I received them. The hadith, Sister Nadia, let's not take any more calls today because I have enough pending questions, mashallah. Sister Nadia, the hadith, it will be said, لقارئ القرآن اقرأ وارتقي ورتل كما كنت ترتل في الدنيا فإن منزلتك عند آخر آية كنت تقرأها. Has been always pressing on me whether this is also only concerning those who have memorized the Quran or also those who have read the Quran. And alhamdulillah, I have read and I have listened to many of the scholars who have said that this is not limited to those who have memorized the Quran. But those who frequently recite the Quran in the dunya, they did not necessarily memorize the entire Quran, but they were regular in the recitation of the Quran. On the Day of Judgment, Allah the Almighty will order them, go ahead and recite the same way that you recite in the dunya. Your rank in paradise will be in proportion with the number of ayat that you used to recite in the dunya. That to encourage us, brothers and sisters, to recite as much Quran as possible. By the way, I want to ask you, how many times you got to finish the Quran so far since the beginning of Ramadan? This is the opportunity to train yourself to recite the Quran several times during the month of Ramadan. So at least after Ramadan, inshallah, you maintain reciting it at least once every month. May Allah accept. Sister Hannah from Bahrain, as I said, inshallah, will do our best to produce this program, which inshallah will tackle all these questions in detail. But with regards to hasad and sorcery and evil eye, they are all reality. And the Quran acknowledges that, and the Sound Sunnah too. It is enough to learn that we seek refuge with Allah against the envier whenever he envies. وَمِن شَرِّ حَاسِدٍ إِذَا حَسَدٍ. Isn't it true in Surah An-Nas, وَسَيَقُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ النَّاسِ مَلِكِ النَّاسِ إِلَهِ النَّاسِ مِن شَرِّ الْوَسْوَاسِ الْخَنَّاسِ الَّذِي يُوَسْوِسُ فِي صُدُورِ النَّاسِ مِنَ الْجِنَّةِ وَالنَّاسِ. And isn't it true that we say in Surah Al-Falaq, قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ مِن شَرِّ مَا خَلَقَ ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد. Whom do we seek refuge with or against? We seek refuge with Allah. Against whom? Against the envier whenever he envies. And against the whisperers who could be of the human beings or of the jinn, من الجنة والناس. النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم said, إن العين حق. The evil eye is a reality. It is true that people can envy. And envy has many categories. Sometimes people envy because they are envious. They are evil. الحسد تمني زوال نعمة المحسود. Look at the major difference between hasad and likening what others have. You may like my watch. Nothing wrong with that. You may like my glasses. Nothing wrong with that. You may like somebody's car, somebody's hair color. Nothing wrong with that. But once you wish that you would have this for yourself and others would lose it, this is very evil. This is very envious. That is al-hasad. So al-hasad is to wish that those who have been blessed with any kind of blessing, it could be health, it could be wealth, it could be beauty, it could be children, it could be whatever, that they will lose it and you will collect it for yourself. Because you believe yourself more worthy, you perceive yourself superior. I wish it was mine, not his. But when you find that somebody has something that you like, then you say, Allahumma barik lahu fiha, and give me something similar to it or better than that. That's not hasad. You pray to ask Allah to bless him or her in their beauty, in their smartness, in their children, in their property, and you ask Allah to give you likewise or better. Nothing wrong with that. Al-hasad or envy is fire. It devours the heart of the envier. He doesn't settle until he sees the people whom he envies grounded, broke, poor, lost what they have, what Allah the Almighty have blessed. Everyone have their own provision. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said in one hadith, عَلَى مَا يَقْتُلُ أَحَدُكُمْ أَخَاهُ. Could envy kill? Yes, it could kill. يُدْخِلُ الرَّجُلَ الْقَبْرِ وَالْجَمَلَ الْقِدْرِ. Al-ayn, the evil eye, can cause a person to fall ill, to even suffer all the way until they die, and then they be buried. وَالْجَمَلَ الْقِدْرِ. Somebody sees a camel, oh, what a beautiful one. Say, Allahumma barik. Or according to some of the scholars say, مَا شَاءَ اللَّهِ لَا قُوَّةَ إِلَّا بِاللَّهِ. That will block the evil eye. Whether you say it or the person who assumes that he has been envied by others say it. So when you say that, it's a sign of being pleased with what Allah has given you, pleased with what Allah has given others. You're not objecting, you're not envying them. Wishing to have similar to others, that's not envy, that's okay. Al-hasad again is tamanni zawala ni'mat al-mahsud. I'm sorry, Sister Hannah, I got to postpone answering the rest of your questions, and I didn't get to answer this question fully, but they have been bugging me. It's over. So it's over for this week as well, brothers and sisters. Until next episode, which will be inshallah on Sunday, I leave you all in the care of Allah. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Your mercy is what I beseech. Keep in my heart your remembrance, and in your deen allow me to advance. Help me in my quest. Permit me to pass the ultimate test. Help me in my quest. Permit me to pass the ultimate test. Allah is my heart's speech. Your mercy is what I beseech. Keep in my heart your remembrance, and in your deen allow me to advance. Help me in my quest. Permit me to pass the ultimate